What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Freyr. His name is Kido. His opponent today in the red color, bringing it home with Gaia. His name is Zoekt. Relics on the map. Over on the bottom side of the map, Hecate's Torch. Or Hecate's. Hecate. One day I'll figure it out, but not on this day. Over on this side, we've got Arrows of Heracles here. On this right-hand corner, we've got Svadilfari's Sledge here. Building favor cost set to 0. On this top position here, we've got Tail of Cerberus. With the myth unit recharge time being reducted. Reduct? Being lowered. So, why are we watching this game, you might ask? Well, one, it's Kido, and I love watching Kido. He is a very, very exciting Norse player. Very, very strong. But that's not really the reason. The reason is more this got up here, Gaia. I just lost 3 games in a row against Gaia. All with me playing different gods, and it hurt. So I want to watch what someone like Kido does to find wins against this god, Gaia. I find it incredibly tough, personally. I'm not saying anything about balance. This is a personal issue. I find it very tough to play against Gaia. So let's see what Kido's going to go for. Now, the map is Anatolia, which does mean there's fish, which in a way means advantage Gaia player. And we're already seeing Zoekt taking advantage of this with his dock over here already fishing up on this side. The Berserk over on this left side hasn't dropped down a dock just yet. So we'll have to wait and see what the plan is thus far. But most likely you just go for a fish boom here. In terms of like fun, different strategies and why we don't see them on this map very much anymore, I think a lot of the like craziness is sort of gone. There was the moment where, you know, Njord seemed really, really good on this map. You had like 8 walking woods trees. It was toned down to 7, and that seems like you're not able to get as much value out of it. Just one reduction there. As much value out of it. I still think those strategies exist. So, you know, maybe you can catch people out by doing it. Especially, well, maybe not a Gaia player because they've got hero citizens. And maybe not with Freyr because you don't have access to Njord. But, you know, the point is that Anatolia isn't fun anymore because no sunset lighting. Does that work? Yes, it does. There we go. Sunset lighting is here. We fixed it. It's all better now. The map is fixed. You too can have whatever lighting you feel like in a game of Age of Mythology. So Zoekt over on this side also taking these fishing ship spots over here. But Kido should probably be looking to grab even more of these spots. What's he? He's only gone for 6 fish down the bottom. This has been something I guess he's been talking about a little bit. At least I've been hearing him chatting about this. The idea is he doesn't really care about fish. Costs too much wood. He wants to... It just slows him down too much. The fishing ships in the classical age aren't that good. Fishing ships in the heroic age and mythic age, they're really, really strong. So, why does Kido say, well, I'm not going to bother too much with fish? Well, answer, just get town centers, get heroic age through A-gear, and get this technology which gives every one of your town centers 1 food per second, and then just spam hill forts. And not only do you get access to the Huskal from those fortresses or portable ram or ballistas, all good things, and also defensive positions, but also those positions become mini healing springs, and they give you 1 food per second on each of them. As Kido now moving into the center of the map to drop his town center. He doesn't quite have the resources for it. He could drop the fortress straight away in the center of the map, but it is a little bit risky against potentially Oceanus. As the Herser coming through has picked up this relic. Svartalfari's sledge as well. I mean, Norse players rejoice. Sometimes the hardest part about Norse, at least on Legacy, the hardest part about Norse was sometimes just getting out your fortresses because you didn't have any favor. But I don't think you really run into that problem all too often in Retold, with the Hersers generating 0.01 favor per second. But with Svartalfaris, with this relic, you're gonna have a good time. There's Siege Bream coming through, Servant coming through, and Zoekt is most likely going to clean up this water. But this does obviously now give Kido all the time in the world here to figure something out, as he's going to be advancing now through A gear, nice and quick. And he is actually going to get a Dreki out, but on this other side of the map. There's a Zoekt fire ship. Who wins in the Dreki versus fire ship battle? This one's got 18. This one's got 13. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that the Dreki here is going to be able to win this fight. It might actually be worth it to delete this dock so that the Kraken comes onto the top side here as well. We see a town center grab here. So Kido is really good at this. He's just going to go up here and just take a town center where you least expect it. Nemo asks, do I know Fisher OP in the Mythic Age? Yes. Once they get to the Mythic Age, you get 2 upgrades. You get 75% and 75% plus 25. So you cut the walking time by half. So it's a huge boost. It's probably the fastest resource, food gather resource in the game, that fish. But, you know, Mythic Age is a long way away. And I think Kido did delete it. No? Maybe it just died? I don't know. Not sure. But I think he deleted it. You can see the dock get placed back down here again. Try and get those fishing ships back to work. But he will have a Kraken out on the left side of the map, as the Asgardian Hill Fort will be able to come up. Heroic Age is going to be coming through for Zoekt, as he's already got a second town center. So he's got his economy going off to the races right now. There's a Kraken going to be sniping down this bad boy over here, and also going to move in and take out the Siege Marine for Zoekt. Now Zoekt can just simply get himself out a Nereid, and he should be able to deal with this Kraken. You do have to be a little bit careful on it. You got to move in, snipe, run away, wait for the special, come back, snipe, and you're all good. But Kido going to have the Ford Town Center now, and I imagine he's already queued this up in the he hasn't queued it up yet. That's a little bit of a surprise there. Feast Renown is the technology. It is so good. As we see Kido now sees the Thayer and reacting immediately with some great hauls here, as Zoekt just going to be getting himself out Dryads, Mermillo, and all the other good stuff. See fish renown at any point? No. Looks like now Kido grabbing this relic. I think this relic is super good, Tale of Cerberus. Any sort of stat boosting relic I rate pretty highly. And this one is going to allow the Rock Giant to use its special more often, which is just huge. I could be wrong, but I think that he may have forgotten this tech. Now Zookt's going to be grabbing himself Quarry and also going to be getting himself carpenters. You see another Asgardian hill fort coming down onto this position. So it's going to be infantry versus archer Mermillo. I will say that pure Arcus Dryad is really, really challenging for Norse to deal with. If you're a Gaia player and potentially also an Uranus player, and you get to fast heroic, you can just go mass Arcus with Dryads. Because you get the boosted economy from chopping down Gaia forest trees. And you can just spam those Arcus out with a really, really strong front line. So longhouses are now down. Up onto this side. The Kraken is slowly. He's got the slow. This is not the slowest rate of fire in the game. 3.6. Wild. Now, one weakness of, I guess, of making Arcus Dryad is you don't really have any pushing power. But Dryads are technically pushing power. They've got pretty high hack damage. So they'll be able to take out a town center or a fortress pretty quickly. Now we see Feast of Renown coming through. Much later than I would have thought. I would have thought that would have been an immediate pickup of sorts. Only 100 gold, 18 favor. For, at the moment, it would be 4 food per second. Going on 5 food per second with this hill fort, and 6 food per second with this settlement here. As a palace coming up for Zoekt. He wants to control this spot. The Berserk's going after the palace. Will it be enough? It looks like not just yet. Zoekt charging forward right now. As those Berserks are going to be pulling all the way back. He might try and grab this town center. He wants this one because it'd be huge for a Gul and Bursty. Another hill fort onto the front here. To lock down this location. And it's looking like Zoekt is in a little bit of trouble here. He is getting sort of contained, so to speak. He is getting strangled, is the word I'm looking for, with buildings thus far. But his army is still very, very strong. And fighting underneath his own palace when the opponent's got a hill fort there, that's completely fine to go for. As Aegir's Tempest now gets thrown down, and Zoekt has to get out of here. He's still sitting at nearly full population. He's got all the fishing ships. Charging over onto this position, we've got the Galadriel, or Carnivora, I should say, to help out with all of those Mermillo on the back. The Mermillo hero is going to be retreating back here. As the Berserks charge forward to try and take out all of these units. The Carnivora is getting some good damage done, but it does end up falling there. The Mermillo heroes in onto this spot. They end up falling. And Zoekt is back into the middle, and he's got destroyers out now. Now, destroyers against Norse, I don't particularly think they're that amazing. They've got low hack armor, which all of the units still hack. They're really good against everything else, like against Atlantean, Greek, Egyptian. But here, they're only really good at taking out the buildings. We'll see if they're going to be enough of a front line to help hold with those Arcus when these units decide to charge through. But another hill fort going down as Zoekt is finding a really, really strong push into this position here. As the Gul and Bursty here has been forced out from the top, charging over here. Kido is in what looks to be a somewhat of a difficult position here. We'll see if Zoekt can convert here. Lots and lots of units in queue for both players. As the hero Arcus will be able to take out these dudes, and we see the Gul and Bursty coming through, but that can get sniped down pretty quickly here. It's going to get some damage done, but it's not that big of a deal. If it's one Dryad for Gul and Bursty here, Zoekt is going to be really, really happy. We see Atlas. Atlas is queued up. I actually would think in most games against Norse, going for Heke would be the better call. But in this specific situation, implode onto this army with all of these destroyers, you're going to be able to control the center of the map, and that can be meaning that the game's going to end. You're not looking to play this game out. You're not looking for a late game. You're looking for sort of a 20-minute finish to this game. But we have to make sure, or Zoekt has to make sure that he uses this implode really, really well. As the destroyers, Dryads, moving up to the top position, going to be taking out the Asgardian hill fort right here, right now. Every single time one of these hill forts falls, that's 1 food per second lost. It's quite a lot. As the army now charging in, it looks like Zoekt is feeling a little bit out of position here. He does push underneath the town center before turning, but he's going to keep retreating back. He doesn't have any of that lush here to support him, but he will be retreating off to it very, very quickly. The town center is now up for Zoekt. He's got full population. He's off to the mythic age. So too is Kido, though. So this is going to all come down to who can use their god power the best here, it seems. Zoekt with tons and tons of resources in the bank, however, to get himself champion infantry, champion archers. He's getting watchtowers as well, obviously refilling his population here. That's the town center for Kido on the back there. We'll be finishing up momentarily, pushing up to that 205 population. An Asgardian hill fort coming back down. Atlas is seconds away from completion here as the army decides it's time to fight. Yet again, so many Stymphalian birds getting some serious damage. There's not a single Goaty in this army to deal with this. As the implode gets dropped down onto the back, this could be run away, but he could just run straight forward, but he's not going to. All of these units getting sucked in to the implode as Kido's army, look at the population, it's going down so much damage. It's down to 160 already. The hill fort gets taken out, and now Zoekt is in a commanding position here, ladies and gentlemen. Berserk's going down, and he's ready to start pushing in to the middle of the map. We do have the Fafnir out, the Rock Giant out. Zoekt can push over here and drop another palace down onto this position as well. 30 villages as well, completely erased from this position. Fafnir will get dropped down. Great reaction there from Zoekt to dodge that one, as the Fafnir gets a huge blow of cone fire damage, which does kill off a ton of those archers. Both players hurting at this moment for population, but one player is hurting more for economy, and that is Kido. As the Rock Giants, they're going to be really strong. He doesn't have the upgrade for him to turn them into those Bergerizis just yet. Towers coming up in the center of the map. We see the... Wait, are they Bergerizis? No, they're still Rock Giants. Not going to be upgrading that technology just yet. Kido looking to get his town center back. At the moment, he's got 3 hill forts, 2 town centers, so his food economy is struggling, but I mean, it's still completely fine in terms of his income here. As the army comes back over here to take out those Deuterinos, and now Norse's worst nightmare. I talk a lot about, you know, Norse is really strong because it's got really strong economy, but Norse does have some very, very difficult units that it has to deal with, and one such unit is a Fanatic. And Zoekt does kind of get caught out on that fight here. He's going to turn around, get some damage done onto those infantry units. The Arcus on the back, not having their upgrade to champion here, might make this fight a little bit hard, but it doesn't matter here. So long as he trades decently enough, as he gets the kill on the Fafnir as well, the army of Kido will not be able to get replenished in this position. And in that moment, Kido taps out, and Zoekt finds the victory here. And I am yet again perplexed about how one takes out this nemesis called Gaia. Gaia in a really good spot at the moment. Really, really well played here. Not to take anything away from Zoekt here. He played this game immaculately, made a lot of really, really good decisions here. I loved Kido's try. I think he was a little bit late on the Feast of Renown tech. I don't know how much that would have helped. It probably would have only been a handful of food, maybe like 400, 500 food, but that could have helped him get to the Mythic Age faster than Zoekt could have, and then that might have translated into a ability to get a good Fafnir off. But yeah, him losing all those villages around this town center, absolutely devastating, and just no way to come back from that. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.